ever seen. So, first things first, our first game is going to go up on a slightly unusual map. It is Island Zero. Well, yeah, kind of all seen this one before. There's this pond in the middle, so you're all kind of starting around the edge of the pond. There's a bit of a landway in the middle here you've got to run towards, and yeah, you definitely don't want to miss out on Navy in this middle section because that will do you in quite well. Anyway, we have Team 1 here at the top, Team 2 at the bottom. Let's introduce the players. First up on Team 1, going in a front slot is Kaho. Kaho is Cybran. Kaho is in white. His compatriot at the top, also in the front section if you like. It is X6000. He's UEF in green at the back slot. This could be Nave, this could be Air, could be almost anything. Anyway, it's Ivy, and IV might be LV, but it looks like IV, so it's Ivy now. Anyway, they are pink and they are Seraphim. And skipping down to the final player, and always want to go Navy here. Absolutely necessary, need to have to. It is Boba Fett. Boba Fett is in yellow and he is Seraphim. Right, let's have a look at Team 2, and up the front for Team 2 it is Yuhin, who's orange and Cybran. Beside him it is... That is the most strange decision I've seen ever. So the Black Rabbit actually ignored his starting spot, walked out into the water to build a naval factory, then came back. So he's going to be behind right away off the bat. Anyway, in the middle section right by the nice circular pond, it turns out to be Casimarius. Casimarius is Aeon, Casimarius is blue, and I forgot to mention Cybran is a Black Rabbit. So distracted by his bad moves. Anyway, finally to round off team number 2, it is Fraggington. Fraggington is pink, Fraggington is Seraphim. So there we go, we have all the factions represented. We have no Aeon for Team 1, they've got 2 Seraphim instead, and we have no UEF for Team 2 because they have 2 Cybran instead. So we'll see how these guys are going to get on. You can see a classic pop down your factory, pop down your mixes, grab your hydro, pop down your 5th mix, and then start with a ring of pigeons around an air factory, because that's just what you do. Having a look at the reclaim, well, there is reclaim. A little bit right at the door of your base just to boost your early eco. Grab that, throw it into a couple of exactly that, into a couple of mix upgrades, and you'll be a happy Larry. That'll help that for some future proofing and into naval factories. Same thing going on over here. We can see there's that and upgrade, and Commander's doing a little bit of a dance there. Gonna get his jiggy on. Look at that guy. Living his best life. Dancing away. Yeah boy. Carry on doing that. Anyway. So that can actually happen, by the way, if your commander standing is a little bit too close to something and the point of assist to the point of the gun is a wee bit too close, and he keeps on trying to move the gun back and forth to get to the closest spot. So you see it's quite normal there. Anyway, we have a bit of fracas up the front already, and that is Johan is up trying to grab some of this larger mass while he can. He is in a bit of a 2v1, although X6000 is very much focused on getting reclaim as well. I think they all will be. Just the amount of reclaim, but there's a few larger wrecks. Got this big one here as well. If they can just keep that under wraps, will be fine. Now Kaho does need to be careful, because if he keeps on pushing where there's 2, I don't know what he's doing. Not doing a very clever idea is what he's doing. He needs to consider changing his mind and running away. He's down into the yellow, and he has 2 commanders plus units firing away at him. Definitely wants 3 commanders now. Okay, he's gonna boogie. He could boogie real quick because his health is going to drop off, and if Yuhin had have kept in range, that could have been a different story. As it is, Kaho has managed to get out of range of these guys, and he will get out of there alive. I feel like that could have been a bit of a mistake from team number 2. They could have pushed, it goes 3 comms versus 1. They could have pushed in and killed off Kaho, and that would have been a sweet little nab at the beginning of the game. So you see Casimarius has pushed his comm out of the base. He's wanting to get up here just to assist on the front line while leaving his engineers to production. Exact same, not the same thing going into there, or we do see Boba Fett moving away now. So he said, okay, 3 of them, I'll come and join to pump up the numbers. And he's going to get his comm on the way as well. So first things out of here, we have, it looks like a submarine for Boba Fett, so we're going to be annoying with the underwater stuff, and submarine coming out from Casamaris as well, going straight for T2 in a second factory. Bold statement. I guess you can support it. Right, we have some drops going on. We see we got Fraggington grabbing this bottom island, and well, there's no need to worry. There's nobody else contesting for it. He's going to get those mixes for free. Same thing up the top there. This is Ivy. The single engineer dropped off. Wants to actually start using it to pick stuff up. But this is a problem. So in the water, building some units is the Black Rabbit, and neither of these two guys have started Navy at all at this point. No Navy whatsoever. So I'm thinking what they're going to want to do is some Zooey spam. You're going to need it to try and knock out frigates that are coming in. Alright, up here we can see that it is 3 versus 1. We have some PD going up. Just going to keep things honest, keep these unupgraded commanders at bay. And we could see an upgrade because that's now 4 at the front for team number 1. Whilst back here we can see, yep, Fraggington sticking to his base. Like he's focusing on air, not even a hint into Navy. There's air all day from him. Alright, Ewan's going for T2 up the front. He'll be okay. He's got 2 teammates in front of him. They're going to keep things safe. That's an overcharge from X6000, so he has built an E-storage somewhere and he can start doing some damage. That's not advisable, Kaho. I wouldn't move up if I were you. I mean, you're half dead against somebody who has far more health than you. Not a great plan. Ewan's begging for E because he needs some trying to do this upgrade. Does Mantis assisting, and Casamaris could assist as well. Could Black Rabbit help get that T2 upgrade up faster, and T2P would do great. Alright, it is sub on sub action. Both these guys down to 175 health, so they've already had a bit of a banter against each other, seeing who's going to come out on top. And well, a second submarine will ruin the day, although that is an 80% done. Naval factory does not want to let that finish. Boba Fett absolutely does not want to let that T2 factory finish, and for units to start coming out of it would be absolutely terrible. And that looks like a bit of a texture. So Kazi has snagged an engineer from Ewan, and he's popping stuff into the Cyber Navy game just to have some extra tech to make it hilarious. Okay, there has been a drop down here. That is, yep, from Ivy, trying to get himself established on this side island, but unfortunately there's a few units rushing his way, so he's not going to get anything done on that front. Hello factory, hello engineer, and goodbye engineer, goodbye factory. That guy. Alright, 1, 2 factories producing units, and they're going to want to produce a wee bit faster than that, because out of this, the T2 factory is done. Engineers starting to go. They really needed to push a lot sooner, because this is giving Casamaris a chance to build up. And speaking of building up, we have a gun upgrade on the way for Ivy. Gonna need it, and those Mantis should really start assisting him, although T2 is done for Kaho, and he should start popping down PD right now. Right now, PD. Because we see here that Ewan has already done his upgrade. He's got Mantis still assisting him for putting up some power. He's got some T2 PD down as it is, and all these are basically going to be moving into their doom should they carry on their current trajectory, because not only is there service turret, there's a couple of T1 PD as well, and they're just Mantis trickling them one by one, and they will get absolutely obliterated. Alright, so Kaho has got T2 on his comm, but is deciding to use it to build a T2 pigeon. Leave that, get your engineers doing it, pop down some point defense. Check out what the rest of the guys are up to down here. Well, that is still just T2 air for Fraggington, who's been quiet. I think he's just slowly building up his air power. Getting a T2 pigeon, there we go. T2 Navy for, Black Rabbit, T2 Navy on the outside, and there's not much to answer him. Yeah, you can't leave that Navy pause. That's going to be a massive issue should that carry on. Gun upgrade still going down for Casamaris. He's got the speed upgrade, now he's grabbing the range upgrade. And there we go, shield gem with a zapper. So concerned about attack missiles for some reason. That's why wouldn't you be? Alright, sounds like a bit of a drop up here was attempted by Fraggington. has run into the established units of Ivy, but due to the factory soak, for these guys shooting the factory instead of the unit, I think Fraggington's actually going to come out on top. Maybe not actually. Looks like he is just running out of units as it is. Everybody's shooting the ground because, you know, fuck the ground. Nobody likes the ground. Ah, dear oh dear. Choose for that. Zooey pops out at an inopportune time, although these guys get moving, they'll be okay. And now the note of problems. Right, Zooey's going to go down, shortly followed by the Cylinder at the end of the combat units, just depending on what rolls off there. Looks like more Thams. And gonna need to pop some more units over this way. Zooey's going to be a great bet. Maybe another Tham or two, because these guys are almost dead, and it won't take long for them to die. Just like that. Those Zooey's will be great for taking down the factory. Okay, checking out down here, and still no real naval movement, just splitting our forces on each side. Do we have tech on the way for... No, we don't. Still no tech. Or Boba Fett. Who's putting down a fourth factory. So T2, and that's a destroyer, which is going to be bad times. And speaking of destroyers, we got this one up right here. And it is currently having to go at all these units. Now then, Kaho has been focusing on getting his power issues sorted. I don't think power is his issue. He has T1 mixes in his base. Single T2. He needs a bit more than that. Alright, I see some flag. Hopper flags were popped up by Boba Fett just to take care of any air that might fly over. But this is a sizable problem. The Salem is going to cause issues, although some Nothers, if they're accurate, could do some good damage. The island has been saved by Ivy. Now looks like these guys are actually going over for the bomber, which they get. Yeah, hold for him. But this is an issue. And still persisting with the T1, that's not going to save you at all. And you need to get your Nothers onto the Salem quickly, or maybe switch up to torpedo bombers. Is that a T3 shift? Oh, I think that's ambitious, especially when you need air right smiggin' now due to Mr. Salem. Not a good showing. T1 Interceptors is coming up from Fraggington. They're going to do a bit of air cover, and that will keep the Nothers at bay, and a cruiser. So that's a bit of a mix going on that front. And what was that? Is that a attack launcher? That is a attack launcher. And attack launcher is lobbing down this way. What is it going for? If it goes to the HQ, gonna need another 2 missiles to deal to that. Make it. Well, starting to build another attack launcher will reduce the build time of this one, sorry, make it take longer, reduce the build power of this one, because it needs mass to load. And if you're building a second one, not going to happen. Alright, having a check out here though, the HQ did take the brunt of the damage, and now it is units on units. There is a destroyer in here, but if you can be all sneaky and dodgy like, this thing is going to miss a lot, because very slow muzzle velocity, of course, the closer you are, the harder it is to dodge. And it does also have torpedoes, which are pretty damn strong. Strong torpedoes, and that's not a great plan. That might be all the difference. Pew, says Altizen, because that's exactly the sound it makes. Pew. And it was even before the battle started, and it's not even now. Ping going down on the TMD, they want that to die, because if it does die, then they can keep killing off mass and stuff with these, which unfortunately have a limited lifespan with a destroyer off the starboard bow. This is not great for Team 1. This force here, T2, is enough to cause things. We have had a shift to T2 HQ there for X6000, so he's trying to counter with that, but he doesn't have a lot. And checking out what's going on up here, well, we mentioned the loss it is. Now the middle pond is 100% controlled by Team 2. Yeah, there's a frigate, but the frigate's going to die. They can't stand up against all that. Not a shit show in hell. So the question is, what can Boba Fett do against this? Well, the answer is he can lose all his factories. Pretty much what he's got left. All units coming off the conveyor belts all the time. We can see the attack launchers are having a go at whatever they can find. Yeah, what they find happens to be some T2 mix. Could maybe kill another one if they're fast enough, although he's firing 2 at a time, so he keeps that up. And what's going on there? That's T2 ID, I think. Yep, there it is. Well, that popping over, that is going to ruin your day. And speaking of somebody's day being ruined, look at X6000. He is having to dodge, dodge, dodge. He cannot stand still on account of there being two destroyers and a cruiser having to go at him. And speaking of things having to go at, now the power and attack launchers in the mid are getting munched into rubble. And yep, that's not great. Down goes the PGs, down goes tech launchers. Shield gen is going to bring back on. Question is, will it stay on? Does he have the power to run it? Apparently he does, but that is great. Keeping the Navy back here, a strange choice when you could be bombarding the HQs, and they've let Boba Fett get back to TH2. This destroyer on it is. This destroyer is above water, which might be the wrong choice considering the... Well, if we can take out that destroyer, then it will be absolutely fine because they haven't built further, although that's another one coming. That will... Fire something else, be good. About done on another ship there. Lag Rapid is asking for help from air because those are torpedo bombers, and those are the answer they needed, although there are Nothers having to go at something. What are they going for? I think they're going for... They're going for the T2HQ. Not the best move, although the NTs over here will help clear things out. 2 Salems and a cruiser down by the look of it. There's just 1 Salem left in the bay, and now the torp bombers are coming down this way, which could be a huge assistance if they can kill off anything in here to help Boba Fett survive. Okay, in the mid we can see a massive push coming in from Ewan. That's a lot of units, and the Salem pops up onto land because hey, torpedo bombers can't hurt you when you're walking on the land. That's not great news, however. Not great news at all, especially with this all coming through, and all the units died earlier from this guy, or the other Salem, which is dead, and now they're free to wander on through, and Kaho's base is looking pretty solidly overrun. There is a frigate on the coast which is going to try and help do a bit of damage, but not going to get a huge amount done because they don't have much range, and Kaho's still trying to do things. Up here we see IV's comm is in his base, kind of defending, has got a gun upgrade there, so he'll be able to hold off those quite happily, especially with Kaho helping out. And now they swing down towards Boba Fett's base. He is in play, he is fine. His power's under a shield, so he should be alright, and some T1 PD, no less storage. Okay, so this attack should filter out, but question is about the rest of us. See, we have another Salem over here, although there are 2 destroyers. They don't want to sit too still. If they can dodge shots, of course any shots you dodge are incredibly helpful because it'll keep you alive a bit longer, or you can put out some more damage towards your enemies. Alright, shields down. Are we going to see a power generator go down? No, we are not. They survive just. 120 health. Could have focused that, could have killed it. And speaking of things that need focusing to die, this thing right here, that needs to die, because it is currently wrecking 600's base. Down here is Kaho trying to get re-established, building a T2 mass extractor on 0 eco. I don't think that's the cleverest idea. Gonna reclaim a bit and then start again. Okay, so you reclaim some mass, starts doing it again, and that works. Alright, checking out down here the pond, we have a couple of T2 destroyers, 3 T2 destroyers down here, and why is that pinging? Half radar going up. Yep, fair enough. Why not? Not so good for these guys trying to stay alive. I mean, they're getting shot from 2 directions. They got the destroyers down here and the Salem on land. Might as well move these guys up. Oh, they're underwater. Are they? I think they are. I'm guessing they're underwater from the fact they're not getting shot at. But that Salem just keeps walking forward. Nothing's slowing it down. We have a good set of units out here from X600 though, so he's going to be able to do some damage wandering on past because there's not a lot to stop them. He has a couple of Salems, but one's on land. The other one's under a shield. You can probably ignore those. And this guy is dying to that T2RD. If it can land another shell, we shall see the demise of that thing. That will be all well and good for Kaho, struggling at the moment to get his base re-established. Alright, so these guys were underwater, but they got in range, then they popped up, and now we are seeing the demise from close quarters of the Casimarius Navy. And should they go down, that's going to be a problem, because those guys can do a lot of damage, and he could switch up to cruisers. And of course, cruisers on this map, massive range, massive damage. Alright, Ivy's up front with Lizcom, he's just helping to knock things out. Hey, stop stealing mass, he says. That is actually engineers from Rabbit stealing the dead wrecks of Kaho, so that's not great either. Mass right outside his base being stolen. That is a tack launcher. Oh no. No, you have no TMD. Thankfully, we're trying to kill the power, so impacts on the shield does nothing. I feel like this happened a few times though. There's the launcher, I believe. Is it loading? Yes, it's fully loaded actually, so it's been sitting there a while. Kind of want to use it probably, and then it has happened. The Navy has won out. And now they can just move on in and start zorching everything. The T2HQ goes down will be a bad thing for Casimarius. That'll be him out of the T2 Navy, and honestly, he kind of needs it right now. Now these destroyers are free to do as they please. They could just mow down all of this. They could submerge and turn into submarines and just torpedo everything. But right now is the time that you want to consider a strat. So Ivy hasn't been idle. That's a strap on. Let's see what kind of damage this can do, because we do have TP for Fraggington as well though. Strap bomb goes out, placed very nicely, very nicely. That kills two T2 mixers and T2 Pigeon. Very well placed bomb. Unfortunately, overran the Inties with his ASF and they get murdered from behind. Strat is taking a wide swing. Question is, where's it going to go next? I would think maybe here. Looks like a pretty good spot, although it has gone for the wrong factory. That's the HQ, that's just a support factory. And now it gets blapped on by an ASF from Fraggington. Over here, these guys are just running riot. Nothing much to stop them. There is a T2 torpedo launcher over here, but once these get in range, it's going to be dead to the world because it's only one, and they can do some real damage once they light up. Don't be confused, that is not T2 coming off this support factory, it's only T1. That will be a frigate, just trying to get a little bit of naval presence with what they can, which is not a lot. And honestly, you should be switching up to cruisers right now. You own the pond, get your cruisers out, get your... Did that just die? I think that attack launcher just got through. Yes, it did. It's either that one or another one. Somebody's firing attacks and I don't know where from. Maybe that one? Got some kills. Could be doing it. Alright, these guys drop underwater, and there's been a T2HQ made here, which won't last too long. The torpedo launcher is just about down. We shall see that go in a second. That'll be all the DPS gone. Now they can swing back this way and look at destroying the T2HQ. There is a T2RD being annoying, but yeah, build a cruiser. Honestly, cruiser is what you want right now. Those long-range attack missiles will be absolutely devastating. And of course they'll also outrange the T2RD. Right, naval factories are going down. Might as well swim back up this way, submerge yourselves and go kill off these. That way the T2RD isn't going to hit you. You can sit underwater at a nice range. Perfectly safe. So although I haven't seen that torpedo launcher going up over here, probably doesn't want to let that complete because that will be extra issues. Alright, sub comes out, sub goes boom. How's the rest of the map though? Well, push back in the mid, and that is a T2 upgrade going on the very front mix. That's a strange choice. I guess the torpedo bombers are out from Fraggington trying to work their magic. However, there is some hover flak around, and that is going to ruin their day. Unless they get hit by a T2RT. Wow, rude. But having said that, all the naval factories are down. Submerge yourself. Submerge yourself and build cruisers. You should be doing nothing but cruisers right now, although that is damaged. The question is what from? That would be a TAC missile from over here. I think it is. It is coming on over. And is that going to connect? Just going to connect with the wrong thing. Your TMD is no good back there. It needs to be further forward so it can actually intercept the missiles before they land. Because you lose that. And your great efforts here at taking out your opponent's navy will be completely and utterly lost. And in comes the other one. And Boba Fett. Oh, he's going to lose the T1 navy. That's okay. He cannot... That just hit an aircraft. That tech missile just hit an interceptor. I think he did. This ain't good though. That looks like it's on the right trajectory. And you'll see why these are useless back here. Because... they literally just got it. No, build them forward. These are amphibious, I'm sure of it. Tech defense? Where's your tech defense? Oh, you're not a T2 unit. You are. Yeah, there we go. Tech missile defense. It is amphibious. Aquatic. Should be building them here. Don't build them... Yeah, you wanted to build them... Never mind, it's too late. Needed them here in the water where they could hit the missiles before they got in. But now his T2 factory is gone, and that is going to be a massive issue. Because he's out of the navy. He's getting tacked, and this is allowing Casamarius to rebuild. That is not an upgrade, already 60% of the way done. Good evening, Ige. How we doing, my friend? Now, up this way. It is a lot of subs. Most annoying. We do have one torpedo launcher back here. It's not going to do a lot if the siren gets in range and pops it from a distance. And speaking of things popping from a distance, we are looking at Kaho trying to get laser on his comp. So he's built himself a T3 iron reactor, or he's had it gifted to him perhaps. No, he's only Cyprian, so he must have built that himself with T3 on his comm. Yes, indeed. And he's trying to get laser because, well, let's be honest, if he gets that, he could just go for a jaunt through the water, come out and just murder stuff. There's very little in the way of point defense over there. However, he is a sitting target, and do they know of him doing it? Well, they know he's there. They don't know what he's doing. They know he's sitting still. But, yeah. Don't know what these guys are doing. But I'm pretty sure power is going to be his main issue. No masses. Because he's doing this on T1. Oh my god. Sorry. That's ambitious as hell. I don't think it's not going to complete. And now he's got engineers attacking his base. Come on. That's just... wow. That's just incredibly rude. Alright, huge swarm of torpedo bombs come out and they destroy. There we go. The T2 Navy is down for Mr. X6000. And there is a torpedo boat, but it's trying to struggle against that many Barracudas. No chances. Going to have the cruiser goes down as well, and our navy is firmly in control of the Black Rabbit, as is air for Fraggington. What is used to have here? Did old Ivy used to? He's trying to build a chicken. As for all his egos going into a chicken. Sure enough, they've got to do something, but the something, unfortunately, is not really going to work. And why is Kaho injured? Well, he's getting shot by Navy, I'd imagine. And is that attack missile coming into him as well? Oh, he'll survive one attack. This has two in the same spot. I think you maybe want to consider... well, he doesn't want to cancel his upgrade, which I guess I can understand. You're like, what was that? 50% of the way through a laser upgrade. But next tech missile is going to get him. Or even the Navy up here could just sweep in on it a little bit closer and start shooting. But there's next tech. That looks like it is beelining for him, so he has good assistance now from X6000, but too little, too late. We're going to see him go pop. Indeed. Laser cancelled by attack missile. One TMD is all it would take, and Ivy decides, nope, I'm out. You can read the writing on the wall, which is Navy bombardment. And there we go. There's a tech launcher, tech missile defense in the right place. A little too late. X6000 bows out as well. His base is in tatters again from Navy, and Boba Fett goes, I ain't playing a 4v1, and joins the club. So the Control K Club. So Don't worry about that. Bit of a silly game to start out with. Just some questionable choices, but I did wonder about the rankings. Team 2 definitely had the advantage. They did have higher ranks. Didn't have the highest, but I feel like it could have been balanced better. Maybe switch out one of the 600s instead, because it didn't seem just quite as it was. Anyway, that is the game, and that is how it went down. That is a total victory for Team 2. Flawless. No losses.